This is the second week of a sermon series. We're really talking about what it means to have conviction, to be convicted. So we decided to call it Stand For, and we thought it'd be fun to kind of wrap it around the Fantastic Four. And so we kind of developed the Fantastic Four of faith. And last week we did the thing. Anybody remember who the thing was? Jesus. That's right. That's right. Good try. Jesus is the thing, and we're excited today to talk about Mr. Fantastic. What it means to be fantastic. What is fantastic? Let me tell you what's fantastic. Life is fantastic. I mean this. Life is fantastic, and the reason is because we get to make our own choices. Do you know that you get to decide every day on some things that are just basic and just, whether they affect anybody or don't affect anybody, you get a chance to make your own choices every single day. Every morning you get to wake up, you need to get to decide whether you're grumpy or you're happy. If you're married or if you have a roommate, you get to decide whether to treat that person in a grumpy way or a happy way. That's fantastic. Sometimes they deserve to be treated like you're grumpy, right? And sometimes they deserve to be treated like you're happy. That's fantastic that you wake up every morning and you get to decide. And attitude kind of drives everything, doesn't it? So you get to decide what attitude you approach the day with, which will help you to make some fantastic decisions, right? Like whether or not to shower. I mean, come on, it's our decision whether to shower. Some days we feel like being presentable. Have you ever had one of those days where you just want to be lazy and I can't smell myself, so I'm okay? What's wrong with that? I get to decide. Do I take a shower or do I not take a shower? That's fantastic. I get to decide that. Now, don't get me wrong. Showers are great because, you get to feel that warmth and feel that excitement. And oh man, it just wakes me up in the morning. But some days I don't want to wake up in the morning. And if I don't take a shower, I don't have to worry about it. And I can just be myself. That's fantastic. You know what else is fantastic? If you have a job or you go to school, you get to decide whether to go or not. Or whatever your responsibility is, you get to decide whether to take your own responsibility. So, have you ever had this happen where you wake up and all of a sudden this next 3 days is going to be 82 degrees and sunny, and you're like calling the boss going, okay, boss, I've got spring fever, I'm sorry, the only thing that's going to fix me is a couple of days by the pool and maybe a couple of rounds of golf, but I'm going to be in on Friday, I promise, I'm going to work better when I get there. I'll talk to you later and click. Isn't that fantastic that you've got that right? You can decide to do that anytime you want to. Because we all have a chance to make our own decisions. And that's fantastic. You know what's terrible? Everybody else does too. Why does everybody else get to make their own decisions? If I wake up grumpy, what I expect is for my wife to be able to treat me with some grace. And it's probably her fault I'm grumpy. She should be asking for forgiveness and making me breakfast. And if I was her making her decisions, then that's what I would do. That's not necessarily what she does. She gets to make her own decisions. That's terrible. I hate that she gets to make her own decisions. And whenever I don't shower, my friends don't have to stand next to me. What's up with that? If they love me, it wouldn't matter what I smelled like. They would just love me anyway. I don't understand. It's my decision to make. They get to make their own decisions. And if I was the friend and I was making the decision for them, I would love me anyway. But they don't, and that's terrible. And what's up with the boss? I need a 3-day break. He knows I'm going to work better whenever I get back. If I just have a chance to take a break, it's going to rain on Friday. I'll be there. And he has the gall to fire me. Now, that might be fantastic for him, but that's terrible for me. Don't they all know that they are co-starring in a film that stars me? You've been there. You know what I'm talking about, right? The truth is, we live in a world where everybody gets to make their own decisions. And sometimes my fantastic decisions are terrible for someone else. My wife doesn't want to wake up with me grumpy. My friends don't want to be around me showerless. My boss has a job that needs to get done, and he's relying on me to get that done. And if I don't show up, he's got to find somebody else to do it, or he's got to do it himself. And sometimes my fantastic decisions are terrible for other people. Sometimes my fantastic decisions are terrible for me. But the truth is, to be honest with you, sometimes people make decisions and they don't even know me. Have you ever had this experience at work? Whoever's in that ivory tower has got to be smoking something, because I don't know why they made that decision, but it just affected everything. Now I've got to do everything a different way. Don't they know I had a way to make this done, and I've been pretty successful at it? Why are they making those decisions? And sometimes it's not your boss or a CEO or anything. Maybe it's a president or a Congress or a trade thing, or maybe it's just a superintendent at a school or a principal. It could be anybody of authority. It could be a baseball coach who decided not to play your kid at second base. What is wrong with them? And it affects everything that's happening. Why do we care so much about the decisions that are made around us? It's because we all are climbing mountains. It's already hard enough. We're climbing mountains. We have goals and dreams. We have ambitions. We have careers we're building and legacies and families. We are trying to build relationships. And I'm trying to get that girl to marry me. And I'm trying to get that son to obey me. I'm trying to get that daughter to see what's the right decisions for her life. I'm trying to build these things. And as I'm making decisions, I'm trying to make fantastic decisions that helps me get there. But there's this sea of trouble that keeps building up and coming around me. And it seems like every time I start getting the mountain in pretty good shape, all of a sudden bills mount up, stress mounts up, anxiety mounts up, all this stuff mounts up. And sometimes it overtakes my mountain, crashes it down. And sometimes it has nothing to do with the decisions I'm making. Sometimes somebody else makes the decision. And it affects me. And my mountains come crashing down. And they almost never happen apart from each other. When the mountains start crumbling, the seas start rising. And if the seas start rising, the mountains start crumbling. And if that wasn't bad enough, sometimes you're almost to the pinnacle. You are about to reach your dream, and what are you worried about? You're waiting for the other shoe to grow. And sometimes you've been working really hard to straighten out that sea, but you're just getting to a place where it's just starting to feel kind of peaceful and calm, and you're worried that the car's going to break down, that life is going to throw you another curve. And the fear of trouble sometimes is almost as bad as the trouble itself. You feel misunderstood. Nobody understands why you're so frustrated. You feel underappreciated, and nobody understands why you're so angry. You feel unprotected, and everybody wants to know why you're so defensive. You are overwhelmed, and nobody understands why you just don't want to go outside the house. Trouble and the fear of trouble catches us all. And it's fantastic that we get to make decisions. But when those things begin to take over for us, it can feel like we don't have any decisions anymore. It can feel terrible. And we just want somewhere safe to go, where we can feel whole again. For my wife, that's her bed. I know she's had a bad day if I walk into the bedroom and all I see are covers and the tip of a nose. That's a bad day. And my best bet is to either get in the covers with her or turn around and walk out. It kind of depends. Right? But that's her place. And sometimes it's not even a bad day. She just wants to feel, it's just kind of crazy, chaotic and everything. She just wants to sit in there and watch a movie or play her laptop or use her phone. And that's the place that she goes that makes her feel safe. For me, it's video games or books and movies and things. Because I like to lose myself in somebody else's problems. I like to put myself in a place where I can make decisions, and it can totally screw up that person's life, and it doesn't affect me at all. I can smile and laugh and say, well, that was stupid. And I get to escape for a while. But the truth is, what I'm looking for is a place of refuge. What my wife is looking for is a place of refuge. But what we're really doing is hiding. Because when we come out of hiding, what's still there? Trouble. And the fear of trouble. My desire for you today is to show you through Psalm 46, there is a place that you can go. Psalm 46, if you would turn there for me, it's a psalm.